Everybody, BigSrod's here. Hope y'all are having a great Tuesday night. I was messing around in the rod shop here, doing a little rod. I figured I'd jump on here, man. Why not? I was doing a little bit of rod work for about an hour, so I figured I'd jump on here and say what's up to everybody. Holler at some people. See what people are up to on a. See what everybody's up to on a Tuesday night. He did the same old all day. Worked all day. The old 9 to 5, 8 to 4:30. That's what I work every day. Usually it's about 8 to 5, 6. There ain't no telling what time. There ain't no telling what time I'm going to be working. I work all day. Bex, what's up, man? Welcome, brother. How you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well, man. I'm just messing around in the rod here. Doing a little rod work. Messing around a little bit. Got a new rod I'm going to start. Do the grips on. Got the grips already. It's a pretty sweet little grip. Nice gray. It's got a bright neon green in it. Cut them grips down on a gray reel seat. And they go together pretty good. I'm gonna start that tonight. All I'm gonna do is cut the grips. I usually would ream them out, but got my son back there sleeping tonight. You know, he's back. School's back in, so he's back home after all the holidays, and I got to keep it down a little bit. Don't want to wake him up, so I'm not gonna ream him out. I am gonna cut this grip down to size. You know what I mean? That marbling does look nice, man. The more you look at it, the better it looks on there. I'm not gonna put another coat. I'm waiting for the decal to come in right here so we can put the ugly stick decal. I think I might put the ugly stick decal down here. Put the ugly stick decal down there, and then I'm gonna put maybe more coats on it. That decal should be in sometime this week. The decal for this old little rod right here. Did not want to be done. This one to be done. We'll have to put this one up. Call us another YouTube one. But it's sliding over it. Remember I was talking about right here, I was worried about it sliding over it. Seems to be doing it pretty well. And it ain't damaging the thread work, so that's good. That's a good thing. I'm gonna cut this thing down. That's what we're gonna do. This is gonna be a split grip. It's gonna be a light action rod. It's gonna be like a bait runner for a guy. He does a lot of catfishing. And I got him a 7-foot light rod back there, what you see in that package right here. We're gonna take that and unravel it tonight. I haven't even pulled it out. I inspected it when I first got it to make sure that thing wasn't broke, because I've gotten plenty of rods in shipping and them suckers been broke, and there ain't nothing worse than that. There ain't nothing worse than getting a broken rod in. But we're gonna double inspect that one. I like to get it under the light, make sure it ain't cracked or nothing before I build it and do a little flex test on it. But we're gonna cut these grips down. It's gonna be a split grip, which if you're not familiar with what a split grip looks like, I think I have one back here. This is a split grip right here. Split grips where you got the split inside the grips back here. That's pretty simple, you know. This stick right here is sweet, ain't it, y'all? This is the rod you usually see me fishing with out on the rivers on these videos you see on here. It's kind of dirty right now. I'm going to clean it up, but that's the slime stick right there. Boy, that thing's mean and green. Slimed out. But that's a split grip right there, y'all. Boom. That's what split grip. If you ain't familiar with that, on what a split grip is, that's how this rod's going to look. It's not going to be a bait caster, though. It's a spinning rod. Definitely not a bait caster. He's going to use it to catch bait fish, really. Because he's the same as me up here. I like to use cut bait whenever I catfish, or I like to use live brim, perch, and stuff like that. And in South Carolina, he's from North Carolina, I think, and I'm in here in South Carolina, and in order to do that, you have to catch it by rod and reel. Like I can catch game fish As long as it's on a rod and reel and I can use it for bait. As long as I don't take it with a cast net. There's only, there's regulations on certain fish you can take with cast nets and whatnot, but game fish aren't one of them. So if you want to fish with game fish as bait, you have to catch it here in South Carolina on a rod and reel. But as long as you catch them on a rod and reel, if you catch 50 of them, you keep 50 brim and use them as bait. You know what I mean? So the rule of thumb on that is if you're deciding to use game fish in South, or maybe I think North Carolina is the same. If you want to fish for game fish, and you don't want to take the net, you don't want to have your net on your boat. You know what I mean? You only want to have rods and reels. That way, there's no way they can say you use the net for it. That's what the game warden told me. Y'all, I do a lot of fishing. I used to do a lot of catfishing. That's all I do, really. I mean, I used to throw nets for shad and stuff, but they're not abundant, and I like bigger baits. I don't like little shads, and I can't get on no big shad in my local lake. So I take a rod and a reel, bait runners is what I call them, and I go out there for an hour, and I catch me 10, 15 smaller in my hand. I don't like cooking size. I like them about, 5 inches long. Brim, all that. That's what I fish with. You know what I mean? I never fish. I always fish with live. Some of them I'll cut them open, cut them in half if I get bigger ones, but usually I'll hook them through the snout or right behind the spine. Let them swim around out there. You know what I mean? Let them swim around out there. All right, on this grip right here, all I'm going to do is cut it with, I usually have a power tools and stuff like all that. I'm going to do it the old school way with my little blade right here. I'm just going to measure out. I'm going to measure out a front grip. I'll get the reel seat and kind of show you what it looks like afterwards. While I'm cutting this, you're going to be like, what the heck? That don't even look right. But once I get it cut and get it right, you'll be like, oh, okay, I see what he's doing. So I'm going to cut from either end. I don't know which end I'm going to come from. Sometimes I'll look at it to see what the design's all different. And I see what's going on. See, like right here. Sometimes on these, I don't know if y'all can see it. But y'all see how it's uniform? It's all got a nice color on it. Well, you see that spot right there? Right there. They've had some kind of mess up from the fact whoever built this grip just didn't, they missed a spot right there. So I pay attention to stuff like that because I don't want to pull my grips and start cutting them from this side because it's not going to have y'all see what I'm saying? It's just going to have a dull spot right there. So instead, we're going to come from this end because I've looked at this end, and if you see, it's all uniformed all the way around. Well up to here. It's got that's like some marks on it when we sand it. That's why that looks rough right now. That ain't been sanded. Once I put it on my lay and sand it down and shape it, it'll be totally different. But that's things you got to pay attention to, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? You look at that thing right there, and it's just, you get my drift. If you don't know what you're doing really, and you ain't paying attention to detail, you might start pulling it from this side and get them shaped and everything before you notice that there's a dull spot in this grip. So right here, this much of the grip won't even matter no more. Which that's kind of unfortunate, you know what I mean? But this side looks good, so we're going to use this side. Once we sand it, these little darker spots, we'll sand those out. I'm missing comments. I don't even know if my comments are up. Yeah, we're going to do live chat. Sorry, y'all. Make sure I got that thing right. I don't want to miss any. Might have missed a few comments. Been running my mouth. Been running my trap, you know what I mean? So, like I said, we'll come from this side. Our first, we're going to do it 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches is going to be the back of the grip. Where your hand's going to be sitting at, that's going to be about 2.5 inches or so. Just going to get a little mark on it. I take it around and mark it about twice so I make sure I get a good straight cut. Especially when I'm cutting with my saw and I'm not using my power tools. I do have power tools, y'all. I'm not that cheap and nothing like that, but I'm not about to run that power tool in here with It's after 11 o'clock. I got my little pro staffer back there sleeping. He doesn't have wrestling practice tonight. We got a wrestling match tomorrow. Probably won't be on here tomorrow night because we got to drive 2 hours almost to a wrestling match and then spend 3 hours there and then drive 2 hours back. So we got us about a nice 6-7 hour trip. And that's all after school gets out and after I get off work. So I don't know what time I'm going to be rolling back up in here tomorrow. We got a full day packed. He's on the varsity wrestling team, so we got to travel around, which is awesome. I mean, hey, there ain't nothing like having your teenage son on the varsity wrestling team. You know what I mean? But it drains you. It'll drain you out. Anybody that has kids that do sports, they know what I'm talking about. Because he's played a whole lot of baseball too. You know what I mean? He's done a whole lot of baseball, stuff like that. He's been playing sports since he was 7 years old. T-ball. He started in T-ball. Been playing baseball, doing his thing. But he has this is his first year wrestling, which he's doing pretty good because he got on varsity. But plus, he's a 106. Is his weight class the smallest weight class? So there ain't another actually. Right now, he don't have no competition. He's the only 106. But they don't have a 113 either, which is the step up. So they talked to him about going up to 113. On it. I got to be missing comments on here. Must not be. Trying to find out how to make my chat stay up. My chat disappears on here. My chat hasn't been disappearing on these live shows. When I'm doing my live, my chat hasn't been disappearing. Do you have a website? Hold on, let me see if I can make this stay up. That's pretty far for a match. It is, Bex. Do you have a website? I don't have a website, man. All I got is, why is it doing that? All I got is a YouTube here and Facebook, man. It's kind of hard to do a website when you do just fully custom rods because everybody you want something different. Like I don't have a standard rod that I sell or nothing like that. You know what I mean? So I just never. I did do a website at first, but it was so complicated and people still couldn't do nothing on it. They had to contact me, and that's when I building. Right when I first started, I was going to start. I mean, I was going to become rich off this. I was going to become rich doing this. You know what I mean? I'm going to go to sleep because Beck, I barely caught that. I'll look back at it again, man. I see you're going to go to sleep, man. I know you got to get up, man. I'm only going to be on here for about an hour tonight. You know what I mean? I'm only going to be on here about an hour. I'm going to sleep because Vegas won. And that, man, it's a word of mouth. It's a word of mouth business for sure. That's right, man. That is true. That makes sense, honestly. Yeah, you know what I mean. And I don't mind talking to people and stuff like that. It's just fully custom. It's hard. It's hard to really do a website thing. So I didn't even bother with going through the trouble of doing the website. If you want to, if like I said, you can reach out to me on here. I can get back with you in the comments or whatever. Can you message on YouTube? I'm new with YouTube anyway. If anybody in here is wondering, if y'all don't mind, hit the sub button. You know what I mean? I'm new to YouTube lives. Do a lot of Facebook lives. I do lives, obviously. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can tell that obviously. But I mean, I don't do a whole lot on here. I've done them on Facebook, but like Facebook, you can message people, say, "Hey, message me." You know what I mean? I don't think you can. Really, I don't think you. I'm figuring it out. I think you can't. I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, how do you go? Do you contact through the comments? It's all good. I'm trying to grow this right here, though. What do you do? I'm new. I'm new too, man. We're new together. I'm not new to social media and all that and creating content with rod building and everything. I do a lot of it on Facebook. I've been, but I'm just not familiar with the platform here on YouTube. So I can't really, I guess you comment on it. I've noticed people whenever they say they want to sub up or contact me, like I had a sticker guy on here. I forgot his name now. He's probably going to jump on soon. He does stickers, and he just went on one of my videos and commented, "Hey, I'm this person," and then I'll see it, and then I can go back and comment to you, and you know what I'm saying. If you want a rod, if you want to talk about a rod or do something, I'll shoot a number out. You know what I mean? I don't mind talking to people on the phone. The best way, whenever somebody wants a rod built, if I know they're serious about doing it, we start talking on the phone because you can't do it by text message and over messages. You just can't do and get all the details you need. Yo, what's up? McDowell, what's up, brother? Welcome, 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 man. The key is to make it easier for people to find you when you are. That's right. That's what it is. You build rods? Yeah, man, I build custom fishing rods, brother. I sure do. I build custom fishing rods, my man. Right now I'm cutting some grips. Some of these sweet lime green grips that we're going to put on a light rod. About right at 2.5 inches. On that one, we got to cut us another one here. Now that's the front I'm in. I'm sorry, y'all. That'll be in the front of your grip. So when you're holding the rod like this, that'll be at the front of the grip. That's where your front. That's where you can, because when you're using a spinning rod, and it's a light rod, you're not holding up here fighting no 12-pound fish. You're catching lighter fish. So usually you got your hand in between the undercast on the reel, and usually you ain't got nothing but a hand or two up here on this grip. This is the front of your rod. And then we're going to do a 3-inch one back here, for the back of your hand, because mostly that's where you're going to put all your pressures back here on this one, you know what I mean? That's how it's going to work. So this one will be 2.5. The back one will be 3. And then the butt grip will be, I think, 2 and like 2.25. Just a little bit smaller than the foregrip. You know what I mean? Hell yeah, much support from Centera, Texas. Man, that's awesome, man. Centera, Texas, man. Yeah, that is awesome. I was born in Corpus Christi, Texas, brother. Hit that sub button, man. I'll sub back. Y'all make sure y'all hit the sub button. I'm at like a little over 200 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm gonna shoot some stuff out, man. I got all kinds of stuff. And I haven't done nothing on YouTube. I usually do it on Facebook, but I got stuff that I'm gonna shoot out. I'm gonna show it off here in a little bit, like that hanging on the wall back. There's a towel. It's a bait towel. I got big ass rod bait towels. I got big ass rod koozies, bracelets. I got bracelets on. I got all kinds of. I'm gonna make a little package together when we hit 1,000. And I'm gonna shoot it out to somebody. So make sure y'all sub up and put the word out. Word of mouth. I just ain't been on YouTube a lot, y'all. I'm just starting to get onto it. You know what I mean? So we got that 2.5. We're gonna do it. This one we're gonna do the 2.25. This will be the butt one. We'll do the back one 2.25 on this one instead of 2.5. This will be what'll be down on the butt end. We'll actually do it too. I made a change of mind right in the middle of that. We're gonna do 2 inches, y'all. Sounds terrible. I'm looking at it. It don't look like much. You know what I mean? That's what she said. Don't look like much, everybody. I'm gonna measure this thing. I measured around because I cut it in a circle because I don't like just cutting straight down through it. And I don't know why. I just don't like doing it. I don't know why. I just don't like doing it. Want to sponsor me? Man, I can barely keep my head above water. Maybe someday I might sponsor somebody. Never really done that. No digital marketing. Everything you're explaining could be a YouTube short or longer video. Yeah, man. That is true. That is true, man. But to be honest with you, there's so much going on right now. They got so much going on right now with big ass rods. I'm trying to keep up. What I need is a way to make twice as many rods, twice as fast. I understand what you're saying with that, though, man. I'm in the middle of. I'm building about 5 or 6 rods right now, back and forth, jumping back and forth on them. 5 or 6 rods. And I do stuff pretty much. I wrap them all by hand. I do it all. Once I figured out you couldn't get rich off building fully custom rods, all you can do is just enjoy your work that you do and make enough money to support the habit. And then I didn't get so serious about buying power wrappers and stuff and all that. I could get power wrappers for doing my wraps and all that stuff, you know what I mean? But I don't have a demand for that right now. Maybe once I retire in about 20 years, I could do this full time, still have my retirement, but then I'd be too old. I wouldn't be able to see the thread. I wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Then I wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing. Man, online, just not even online marketing. You know, it's anything. If you're a content creator, if you're an influencer, whatever it is, all that stuff, it's still a marketing yourself out there. Even though nowadays it's crazy out here, watching some of these lives on YouTube's reminded me of that. But there's a lot of crazy stuff going on out here. But I mean, this is promoting yourself or promoting something. It's just like anything else. You know what I mean? If you're out there and whatever you're doing crazy out there, you can consider it a promotion, promoting yourself, you know, or all that. But it's not. But that's not a business. I mean, getting paid on social media is never guaranteed. That's the problem with it. All right, so this is gonna be the butt. I think what we said, right? Yeah, 2 inches. All right, so we got 2 of them made up. We're gonna cut one more. This is gonna be the longest one. It's gonna be 3.5. It's supposed to be 3.5 or 3.25. We might split the difference on that. You know what I mean? Split the difference in 3.25 and 3.5. That's 3 and then 37 seconds. Yeah, y'all just go with it. Just go with that. Just go with it. That's good stuff. So somebody come up on this live and hear that and be like, dude's math is awful. Dude's math is awful. He done pulled out the 30 seconds. You never pull out the 30 seconds. Ever. You just don't do that. Get this measurement right. How's that coming for 2.25? Get down here. You gotta hit the inside of that one. Sorry, y'all. I had to get through that. Talk to myself when I'm thinking sometimes. Y'all don't worry about, I know y'all don't worry about the marks. Whenever I sand it, they'll come off. Jeez, I know exactly what y'all are thinking. Look at that crap. You don't know what he's doing. You know what I mean? And there are better ways of doing this. I will agree. There are better ways of doing this. But every one of them things is straight as an arrow. I know I'm getting it right. This is how I started, y'all. I got a Dremel. I got all kinds of stuff I cut this with. You know, I can cut this. You know, I'd be done and gone by now if I was, you know, going at it. I'd be done and gone with this if y'all wasn't sitting there staring at me, get pressure on me. But this is exactly how I used to do it. I mean, this is when I first started. This is exactly. I mean, I had one of these and I cut each one of them. You know, one by hand by hand. It's 2 full-time jobs. That's right. That is right. That is a hard. And I do it too on Facebook. I do a lot. I do all kinds of stuff. I create content too on my page on Facebook, and you'll see it here if you look at it. I do little. I'm all over the place. I do all kinds of stuff. But if I wanted to really get to where, you know, you can be one of the people that get out there and get a whole lot of followers and go crazy and viral, I guess, yeah, that's a lot of work. Good luck, man. Good luck to you too, brother. Good luck to you too. Appreciate it. What's up, Chris? What's up, Chris? I'm cutting some grips, man. Old school way. We cutting grips the old school way. So this is how a rod starts, y'all. This is the very first building a rod. Is I do my reel seats. I do my reel seat. I do my grips. And what we'll do here tonight is I'll probably sand these and shape these off of camera. I usually video of it, and I'll just post it to the page or to the channel here. You know, an edited video because it's a long process. But when I sand these down and shape them, I'll just do a video of it. And I'll have them ready so we can just set them and build our arbors, and I'll show y'all how I set the reel seats and set the grips and everything actually on another live. But that's what we got right here now. We got the beginning of the reel seat and grips on a rod. Hope you're doing good, Chris. So it would be, this is your reel seat. You know what I mean? Front of the reel seat, the back of the reel seat. So the tip of the rod will be out here, the butt of the rod will be back here. You'll have this one up here. You'll have this one back here. Boom. Once they're shaped, it'll be a lot prettier. But you'll have them grips like that, the lime green with the gray. Just like that. And then you'll have this down here. You know what I mean? This will be the split grip down here. Boom. It's hard to show you what it'll look like. You know what I mean? I can give you an idea if y'all want to. Let me show you here. This is the actual rod right here that we are going to use for this. So it's pretty sure it is a 7 foot. It's a 7 foot light rod. Nice smooth like butter. 7 foot. I think this is a mod. Fast. Double tap on the screen if you haven't already. That's right. Appreciate that, Chris. Get them likes going up and subscribe. Yeah, man. I'm new to this, man. Double tap that screen. What does that do, Chris? What does double tapping the screen do, y'all? Sounds crazy out here, don't it? What does double tapping the screen do? Is that how you like it? If that's the case, heck yeah, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. That thing landed right in that work boot. So what we got here, what is that? 7 foot mod. That's a moderate fast. So it's a light action, moderate. It's a light power, moderate, fast action. 1/8 to 3 ounce weight. You know what I'm saying? 4 to 10 pound test, that's considered the light rod. It's not ultra light. It's light. Set this over here for now. But what I was going to show y'all is I can slide this on here a little bit and give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Give me just a minute. I'll show y'all an idea of what it looks like. Once I grips and I sand them down, they'll look a lot better. But you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to be like on there. You know what I mean? I can't hold it there, but that's going to be the grip out of the screen. That's how it'll be set up. Boom. This will be the butt of the rod. Split grip. You'll have the butt grip. Reel seat. Foregrip. Boom. That's how you'll be fishing. It'll be a sweet setup on there. Boom. So that's the rod. This is how a rod is born. And what I'll do is I got a reamer, and I'll ream these out so they're big enough to fit all the way down on the butt of this rod where they're supposed to be. Then I'll shape these grips with my lathe over there. I'll show y'all what I do the grips on in another live sometime. In another live at some point. But that's how I first started cutting grips. When I very first started doing rod building. I got a Dremel and all kinds of stuff, all kinds of different ways I can cut them now. But that's how I started it. when I first started doing grips. Cutting it with the old faithful. With Old Faithful. You know what I mean? But we'll slap that on there. Let's see, I'm missing my comments. Make sure I ain't missing my comments. Make sure I'm missing my comments. Trying to keep up with them comments because I got to figure it out. I can get them to stay up sometimes. But a lot of times the comments, they disappear on me. That's getting on my nerves, you know what I mean? It's getting on my nerves there. But yeah. We're going to try to hit 1,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? We're going to try to hit 1K. And when I hit that, I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do like a koozie. And we'll do like a towel and stuff and everything. When we hit that 1K mark. On here, on YouTube. On the tube. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Boom. I'm going to show y'all a couple things. What do y'all do? Y'all fish with bait casters? How many of y'all fish with bait casters? That's about all I fish with anymore, y'all. I don't fish with open face no more. I don't dog a single soul for fishing with an open face because I fish with open face all the time until I made myself learn how to use one of these, and then I liked it better, so I used it. I don't dog anybody for using open faces, but does anybody use bait casters? Because it took me about 2 years before I was ever able to get comfortable with a bait caster. This bait caster right here, y'all, I fished it for 1 season so far. I can't remember the name of this thing. It's some Chinese or Japanese reel, but I teamed it. I'll show you what I teamed it up with. This is what it goes with. I'm doing all my reels and rods and reels right now. Shaping them up since I ain't using them right now. But that goes with that. That goes with the old slime rod. This rod is sweet. This thing's bad to the bone. This is a real light rod, y'all. Real light. Mostly spinning, but I have a couple bait casters. I got you, man. See, all I used to use was bait casters for catfishing. Long casting with heavy weight on it. I can sling a bait caster. You know what I mean? If I got heavy weight on it. But when I started going to this rod right here, this rod is ridiculously light, y'all. And all I did was greened it out. Everything's green on it. I mean, it's just greened out. Green grips, green everything. You know what I mean? And all. Baits fishing, what's up? Appreciate that. But y'all see how that... You know what I was going to show y'all too? With your rod and reels? Boom. With your rod... Let me flip this thing this way. Maybe I can get on there. Y'all see how dirty that thing is? That's a custom grip. I've done fished that a couple of times. You know what I mean? And it's done gotten all dirty on me. But some of y'all might already know this. Give me just a second, and I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. I go up here to the Dollar General and I get on that that dollar side where they got all the stuff for $1. And I'll get me a magic eraser. Magic eraser does miracles, y'all. Let me get a hold of this rod. See if we can make a difference. I already know we can. This works on all y'all's grips, y'all. Yeah. See, we can't get this thing right. Can y'all see that? That line where it changes? You see the line? That's what a magic eraser is. And it works on all your grips. It works on every grip you got. When it gets dirty like that, oh, you can see the line. I hope y'all, can y'all see that good? I hope so. And that ain't, I mean, that's just a little, I mean, I go around that thing, give it a good scrub, and that thing will turn just nice like it was. Also did it on here earlier to make sure. You can see the line on that too. You see that line right there where it stops? I took a little brush to that too, so that thing, if y'all got, I ain't gonna say if you got a Dollar General around you, because I know every one of y'all do. That's one thing I can guarantee is every one of y'all got a Dollar General around you. You know what I mean? But unless you're out of another country. But these are usually a dollar. If y'all know the Dollar General's got the dollar aisle, that's actually a dollar aisle. I think they got them at Chris. I think they got them at Dollar Tree. You're right too. But I mean, they're $1. I get like 4 or 5 of them at a time and throw them. I use them for. I use these for all kinds of stuff. Magic eraser. You know what I mean? We don't have them in my area. Really, Chris? That's crazy. But I mean, if you can get a hold of a magic eraser, it does. I mean, it does crazy how it did that grip. Changed it. Boom! Look at that dirtiness on that side. Just a little bit of scrub. That was just a little bit of work right there. You want to put a little elbow grease in it, you can make it look brand new. I've had this half the summer and all the fall. You know what I mean? So far. That's how much I fished it so far. You know what I mean? That's how much I fished it so far. I take my reels down usually once a year. I break my bait casters down. I'll take a bait caster and I'll break it down and grease it and do everything like that. Sometimes I get somebody to do it for me. You know what I'm saying? They're like $1 high, $1.25. Dollar Tree is the $1.25 now. That's why I say but you can actually go to some Dollar Generals and find the magic erasers on the dollar. They actually have a dollar aisle. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be like $1.08, actually. But I know what you're saying now. If you want to go to the Dollar Tree, ain't even like that. Have you my Dollar Tree, my local Dollar Tree? They got like 2 liters in there for like they got stuff in there that's like $5 and $6. You know what I mean? It's like they just started it in my town. They have like made up little signs and did it like that. You know what I mean? I don't know. Sorry about the screen going back and forth. I'm trying to get it to quit doing that on me. But I break my reels down. And I do it once a year. But about every 350, 400 casts, I get some 3-in-1, you know? And all I do this myself just in between a couple of fishing trips. Right inside there, everybody knows them gears that runs back and forth on. I always just drop me a drop in there. Just a little drop like that. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing this on my reels. You know what I mean? It especially depends if they hit the water. If you drop them in the water, I mean, I do that frequently. You know what I mean? Banging them around, getting dust in it, running through here, going, plowing through trees. Chasing and going through misery to get that bite. You know what I mean? But about every couple, I mean, I just look at them every now and then. I can tell when I'm fishing. You know what I mean? If they need to be done, I do that quite often. I'll also pull it right here, which is what is your like release drag on your spool. If y'all didn't know that, the one that's on the side. Your reel's on the right side here. That is your release drag. You know what I'm saying? And I will take that off. Now, a lot of people don't like to take that off because they set their bait casters. And when you set your bait caster, messing with that'll mess it up. And I put a drop or two down in that. Let it ease down through there. This ain't a full oil and greasing. I do that about once a year. break them all the way down. All I'm doing, this is what I do in between about 3 or 4 fishing trips. You know what I mean? I take my and I oil that and I oil down in my release drag. That's your release drag. That's when you throw this thing and it just initially comes off your spool. How quick this is gonna spin when you start pulling it. When you know what I'm saying, when you fling it, how quick that's gonna spin. That's what that controls. You know how this free spools. If you loosen this completely up and you take your hand off this spool, it'll just unravel. Or you can tighten it up and it won't. It'll have brakes on it right off the get go. The one on this other side is what is called like your centrifugal drag almost. It's like once your reel gets spinning and it's up in the air, point when you're messing around, this is at the point where you either find out or you make a good cast. You know what I'm saying? Because you can mess with this all day and that thing feels good right there. But once it gets up in the air mid cast, right at the find out stage, this is where this comes into play. That'll slow it down when it's spinning. Once it gets to a certain peak there, it'll slow back down. It'll start putting brakes on it at the end of the cast. Y'all know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to bore y'all or nothing, but I've had a lot of people ask me stuff like this, and I figured I'd go over it while I had the reels out and everything. I'm not doing a full blown live. I'm not gonna get into a bunch of noise making and doing stuff like that tonight because the young is asleep. So I'm just gonna go over a couple details. But I did want to go over that if people don't know. This is what shies people off of using bait casters, everybody. You know what I'm saying? This is what shies people off from using bait casters because they go out there like, man, every time I throw it, I can't do it. You know, and most people get on it and they'll adjust this right here, and this right, you know, your normal. This has nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? Y'all know what this is. This is your normal drag when that fish takes off with it. When you're, you know what I mean? When you don't have this pressed, when you're off of this and your fish pull drag, we all know what that is. People want to mess with this one right here, which is understandable, and get that thing, and you know they say it. Get that thing to where you hit the button with the weight on it, and whatever lure you got, and it slowly drops to the ground. That is correct. You know what I mean? That is correct. And people will watch videos, and if you ain't got a full video where somebody teaches you about this side, you're gonna hate a bait caster all your life. You know what I mean? You never until I figured that out. I was the same way. Forget a bait caster. I don't want nothing to do with a bait caster. You know what I mean? But once I figured out how to use this side right here, and there's not a lot of videos on here. I was the one on here trying to. I was like, man, I'm gonna make a video. I have never done it, but I was gonna make a video on because I had trouble finding them. But that's what'll change the day. That's what changes a bait caster to be able to cast multiple times and be able to cast 2 or 3 times. You know what I mean? It's just Christian off. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I had to take a day or two off there. I had like a head cold. You know what I mean? Little head cold. That's all it was really, but it had me stuffed up. I appreciate that though. I am feeling much better too. You know what I mean? I'm feeling much better. Appreciate you joining us tonight. But y'all, I just wanted to go over that with a bait caster because this on this side, the left side, the centrifugal drag is what it's called. That's what makes you or breaks you when you're a bait caster. You know what I mean? You can do this all day and you do want to get that right, but you can control that with your thumb. When you're letting it out, how much you're letting out and how much you're unspooling, you can control that with your thumb. Most people do. Most people don't even worry about this right one. But this left one, once you get out there and you got that thing heat and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm going out there, and then it wants to start backlashing on you, that's when you either punk and the bait goes about 350 yards further than the line and snaps off, or, you get a spool nest and you think, it just don't work right. You want to be able to throw that thing and just maybe, you might at the very end of the cast, you might have to just barely snug that thing. That's how you want a bait caster working. You know what I mean? It took me about, I was bait casting for 2 years just going crazy. And then when I figured this out, within about 2 months, I had it figured out. Bait casting. I never looked back. You know what I mean? Y'all want to see a sweet reel? Y'all want to see a sweet reel? Check that bad boy out right there. That thing's sweet. That thing is nice. That's a proficiency. Proficiency hasn't been out a real long time, but I've been using this reel for about a year, and this is a casting son of a gun. I don't know about longevity. I don't know how long it's gonna last. It has lasted me a full fishing season. No problems, and it's nice. I like the way it looks. I'm gonna get a purple blank. Boom. Y'all see the purple on that? I think I found a purple blank. You know, the blank of the rod, that would match that. I'm going to team it up with that. Either it's going to be, I'm going to find a purple blank, or I'm going to find a coral. Coral like that almost. That's almost like a coral, or like a, it's not quite a teal. I'd like to find a teal or a purple. And set that. Ooh, that thing would be nice. You know what I mean? Rain Shadow has a real awesome purple blank that this would go crazy with. You know what I mean? And all. But that is sweet, ain't it, yo? Low profile. It's got the nice power handle on it. Cool wrap. Heck yeah, that's right. That's right, Chris. But this right here is a sweet one too. I'm pretty dried out on all these, y'all. But like I say, put a little bit of that 3-in-1 oil. The oil ain't real important as long as it's some kind of lubrication. It ain't been long since I've done this one. I just put oil in these. I put oil in the front. I make sure I keep this oiled every few fishing trips. I have, this is the one in my house. I have one in the boat. I have one in the shop. I think there's one in my truck toolbox. I got about 5 or 6 of these bottles. I use them on everything. I use them on my guns. I use them on all kinds of stuff. Use them on my guns. Use them on my reels. Anything. Old door getting squeak, and I put that on it. Put it on all of them. But that's one of my rigs. This one right here, we was talking about reels the other night. It's nothing but a speed spool. Y'all know we talking about the Lew's LZR Pro. That's a sweet. It's a sweet. I think this rod and reel setup is like less than $100. You know, production rod. You know what I mean? But I like the reel. This is a casting son of a. This is the easiest reel that I've usually. This one and this Abu. These two are the easiest reels. I think it's a Black Max. Yeah. This Black Max, Abu, and this speed spool right here, Lew's, are the easiest ones to figure out and cast. They're the easiest ones to cast. As far as if you're a beginner or something, this is a good one right here. The red. The Abu, about the same, I would say, y'all. I'd say about the same on that. This red one is, show y'all what I did. Similar to what I did there. This is the rod that came with that. It's a Lew's rod and everything, and it was ugly, y'all. All the paint was chipping off here. All the paint, everything was chipping off this one. So I did the same thing like I did with this one right here. I took this one and I just did a marble job on it. You see, it's still got the. I left the writing on this one. You know what I'm saying? You can still read the LRZ. What is it? This is a 7 medium heavy action. Is fast. 10 to 20 pound line. And I just put a wild marble job on it. You know what I mean? Where the black, all this paint was chipping off, so I sanded it down a little bit. Thump 'em Soft Plastic. What's up, brother? Awesome bait maker right there. That's an awesome custom bait maker in the house. And I took the foregrip down there and I put a nice camouflage on it. It's got a little dust on it, y'all. And then I took this X grip. These were black, these grips, and I covered it up with that nice grip on there. Y'all, it really dressed that rod up. Nothing but a. This was a Lew's. It still is a Lew's, you know what I mean, or whatever. But I just put the nice little marble right here. Put the nice marble on it up here. Boom, boom. This is I like to. You pull them stripers, you know, on this one. You pull the striper on this one. This is what this one goes on right here. Boom. That thing looks good. Boom. That's a nice setup. You know what I mean? That's a pretty nice setup right there. My son usually fishes with this one, though. He usually steals this one and fishes with it. He steals all my fishing rods and fishes with them. That's the one we're going to get started. That's the one we're going to get going, is this light rod that we was cutting the grips for. I'll probably take and sand those, and I'll get them ready so when we get on here next time, we'll be gluing them onto the blank. And then at that point, y'all, we'll set it back here on the burner for a while. I just want to get the grip set on it and everything. I won't start working on it and building it for probably about a month. If you want to be honest, it'll be about a month before I probably get going on it. I can't reach. Dan, what you up to tonight, man? I gotta give you a call, brother. I'll give you a call. I promise. Promise I'll give you a call, man. Stay busy tonight. You're gonna have a busy night tomorrow too. But I can probably get a little time to call you. We got a wrestling match tomorrow. Look up True Products for Oil. I'll do that. I'll do that, brother. I'll definitely do that. That was rolling smooth. Yeah, I do that in my reels like I say, I do it religiously. What's annoying to do it with is, I got to take my string off to do it right because I like to get it going back and forth. I'll take this rod in here too. That rod inside of there that this goes back and forth on, that too. You know what I mean? Put a little douse on it. And once it goes back and forth a couple times, it'll pull it. But that's that too right there. That'll keep your reel operating smoothly in between full. When you do a full breakdown on your reels, which we're not going to do, and we're not even going to attempt to go over with on here tonight. Okay? But in between, whenever the season, I do it once a season, pull them fully down, gear them, do all that, grease, and then me keeping up with it. That's what I do about every couple of fishing trips, if you know what I mean. Been crazy busy here, lots getting ready to do down with the Veterans Event Seminar. Gonna try making a spring bait soon. That's awesome, man. Dan over there at Thump 'em Soft Plastics always doing something awesome. If y'all are looking for some awesome soft plastics, make sure you check them out over there. Make sure you check them out. I got one of his baits right here. I've done nothing less than slay stripers and largemouths all summer and spring with these awesome custom baits he made just for me. It's an awesome jig head. Is well paired up with it, but I have slayed and caught so many stripers and so many with this. And I don't know if you can see it in there, but it's got 3 colors. It's blue, got the bottom white, and it's got purple in it. I've done nothing but slay the fish with this thing right here. You know what I mean? But y'all need to check them out. If y'all want some baits, if y'all want some awesome baits, check them out. Thump 'em Soft Plastic. I got to give my man a shout out on here. What's up? Ripper, what's up, man? What's up, man? Y'all, sometimes I leave part of your name out. I apologize. I know who you are. Thump 'em Soft Plastic Dan over there, y'all. I'm telling you. I mean, you can go look on the videos. I slay the fish with them. I slays the fish with them. And this head, that beautiful head right there, paired up with it, is another awesome fella out of Michigan named Doc's Tackle. He does a lot of terminal tackle and everything like that. I mean, you can't beat it. Custom jig heads, custom soft plastics, custom rods, custom everything. You know what I'm saying? Thumping with the heat. That's right. Over here at Big S Rod is custom everything. And y'all want to know what a pro tip is on this? And I don't know if a lot of y'all know it, but it helps me out a lot. I got mine on there. But you pull that thing back right there, and you just dip you a little bit of it super glue up here, okay? On the bottom of this head, and then you push that bait up onto it. That's what I got it on right now. That's why it won't come off. But you take that and put a little bit of super glue up there and push that bait up on it nicely. And man, that thing will stay up on there so much more. You know what I mean? When you're out there getting all them striper hits. Because what you got to do when you're using a Thump 'em Soft Plastic like bait, I'm being serious. That thing's going to get it. They're going to be coming at it in here. I mean, every 2 or 3 casts, I'm getting a bite. I'm getting, you know what I mean? Stripers are aggressive fish. So putting that up on there saves you a lot of time, saves you from sitting there every 2 casts grabbing this thing. And if you're using these dock tackle heads, jig heads on here, you don't want to keep grabbing that thing because it's going to end up in you. So razor sharp. But I just need to give a shout out to my boy because I'm gonna tell y'all this bait, these baits right. I've done nothing but catch fish and slay them on this bad boy. Slayed them on that bad boy. Slayed them. You know what I mean? Ribbon said that is smart. That is a good tip. I don't know if people know that. If they do, you know what I mean? Just keep doing it. If you don't, that's a good tip. Dollar Tree, Dollar General, get just one of them little sticks. It's better to just get a stick where you can take it. It's like a roller maybe on or just in, and you just pull. I got one in here. I got one. It's just like this. I got one in the boat. I got one in the shop. I got one in here. I got one there. I got one all over the place. You know what I mean? There's one inside of my soft plastic on my kayak. So all you got to do is just do a little dab on it, give a little air on it, and push it together, and that joker stays on there a lot better. For anything, any kind of jig head you're using, any of that stuff, you know what I mean? It won't eat up the plastic. It won't eat up Thump 'em soft plastic. It won't eat those up because that's high quality plastic he uses over there. But I've slayed the fish with them. Slayed the fish with them. Thump 'em soft plastic is a big supporter of Big S Rods. He's Big S Rods' brother. You know what I mean? And y'all know, if y'all don't mind, I'd appreciate y'all hitting that sub button on Thump 'em soft plastic for me. You know what I mean? If you don't mind. That is good to know, man. That's good information, ain't it? That's good information. Now, Dan, I know I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You know what I mean? But we did use a magic eraser to clean a grip on a rod. They work nicely for that. If you got any dirty grips on your rod, get you a Mr. Clean. That's a little wet still. Magic eraser. It'll clean them grips up, man, real good. I fish dams with rooster tails and fish are aggressive to them. That's right. Running water. That's like with me. All the elements are against me when I'm fishing out there as far as baits. So luckily I found Thump 'em Soft because we found each other because his baits hold up to it, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, when you're fighting fish in a current, if you fish a dam, you know, too, fighting fish in a current is nothing like fighting fish in a pond or in a lake, you know what I mean? Running water and fighting fish is crazy, you know what I mean? And do I lose baits? Do I live, tear baits up? Yeah. But nowhere near as much as I do with Zoom and all these stupid, I haven't bought a bait from Walmart ever since I met these awesome custom bait makers. I ain't got no need to. Not when I got custom bait makers that got my back. Let's see here. Time is at 12:21. I can't be on here too awfully much longer. We are gonna have to wrap this session up because it's getting late. It's 12:30 here on the East Coast in South Carolina, everybody. And I hate to be the party pooper, but I just wanted to jump on here. I was gonna go ahead and cut them grips, and I was gonna ream them out and fix them on the rod there, and get ready just to, all we had left to do was sand them down. But little pro staff are sleeping. You know what I mean? Ripper lives in Michigan, man. You need to go find Thump 'em Soft because that's his sticky right there. Isn't it St. Clair? Am I wrong? Port Huron, I'm sorry. He's in Michigan too, Bubba. Check him out. I gotta ask how my Patriot rod is doing. It's coming along good, man. It's coming along good. I was gonna show it off tomorrow night on the live on Facebook, but I don't know if I'm gonna make that live tomorrow night, man. We got a tournament. We gotta drive 2 hours, almost 2 hours to go to a wrestling match tomorrow. I gotta get off work, drive 2 hours, go to a 3-hour wrestling match, and then drive 2 hours home. Hopefully it won't be 3 hours. It'll probably be about a 2-hour match. It's not a tournament or nothing, so it's just two schools, playing each other. Rivers said he's gonna go now. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's make sure ticket for me. I got you, Thumper. I got you. Oh, y'all. Like I said, y'all, I hate to I hate to cut it short, but I am gonna have to get off here. I still got to jump in the shower and stuff. Got to get up in the morning to work because, as we all know, I don't do this for a living. This is a hobby. So I ain't worth a crap after about one. If I stay up till after 1 o'clock, I ain't worth a crap the next day. I get grumpy, and my coworkers don't like me. And then you got people like Dan on here saying that he's gonna be home all day tomorrow. Good for you. How do you ban someone? How do you ban people? I'm gonna ban this guy for bringing that negativity into my chat. Have a good night, Chris. We'll see you, brother, man. We'll see you, man. I might see y'all tomorrow night. I'll keep y'all updated on the page though on Facebook over there. I don't know if I'm gonna make it or not. We'll see. But I appreciate you tuning in. We're getting ready to wrap this up. Dan, man, appreciate you jumping in here, brother. I'll give you a holler, man. We'll get this thing right. We'll get these towels and stuff all done. I know you're sitting on them, man. I'm gonna get you right on that. But everybody, make sure y'all hit that sub button. I'm probably not gonna be on here tomorrow night, like just noted. But I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. We'll be back on here again one night. I'll check back in with y'all, all right? Have y'all self a great hump day tomorrow, all right? BigSrod's, get ready to sign off.